Alright, what's up everybody? We're back. We're here with David's top albums of the year 2020. And here he is. Tell us your whole vibe of last year as far as new albums went.
You know, it took a lot for me to find a few of them because I didn't really feel a lot of the albums that came out last year for me. I mean, there's a few of them that were like really good, which they're on my top 10 obviously, but then like there's a few of them that I really wanted to be good.
Just kind of disappointed.
It just kind of like was like,
weren't feeling it.
If I hear it, I guess I'll listen to it, but I don't know if I ever like look for it. And there was a lot of bands that I listened to that I have on here. Like I have mentioned and then honorable mentions and then the top 10, but it's more like I just brief kind of like this is a good album or not, and stuff kind of didn't really attract me to it. Like there's a lot of bands and groups. I'm always listening to new metal when I can find it. Like I'm the guy that I'll go on my phone and I'll be on that for 2 or 3 hours just looking for new bands or something to listen to, and I catch myself off guard because like I showed you outside, I found those 3 groups all like just an hour because I went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And I do that. I get lost and I'll find something new and then I'll really get into it. And I think this is something that I'll probably get into probably for a few months, and then I'll fall out of it, go back into like the metal stuff and find that
different vibes.
Like vibes.
So how many albums are we talking about today, David?
I'm gonna mention 37.
Yeah. So I had 40. Zach had about that much. Josh was up there too. So no more top 10s. Just anything we heard that needs to be talked about for that year. So
Josh went on for 32 minutes, and that was. I remember. Yours was like 2 hours. Zach's was like an hour.
Mine is always going to be long.
Yeah. All right, so we'll start out with Heaven Shall Burn. Right. I've been a fan of this band since I met you. I mean,
I've never heard of that.
It's real heavy shit. Like I don't know if you'll be into it. It's like black metal, but it's not. It's kind of like it's death metal, I guess. It'd be more of that genre of death metal. But they're heavy. Like it's some good shit. And I've always, like I said, I've been a fan of them for about 17 years. Like they've been around for a while. I mean, they have a lot of albums, and there's 1 or 2 albums that I'm really like when I listened to when I was back in when I was 18, 19. I can't remember the album name, but that one I really liked a lot. And all their other stuff, it's one of those bands that's their sound. Yeah. It's kind of like every album's going to sound, I hate to say every album's going to sound the same as a bad thing, because they're a good band.
It's like I say, there are certain bands where I let that pass because that's what I want from them.
Exactly. So they don't really come out with...
I don't complain when Cradle of Filth sounds the same, or Ailstorm, or Dropkick Murphys, because they have something they're so fucking good at that I'm fine with it sounding the same, and if you throw in a random bit here and there that doesn't fit, I'm all for that too.
Yeah, and I'm like this new album, it's called Of Truth and Sacrifice. And I mean, the reason why I didn't make any of the top 10 really was just because I've heard it.
Yeah.
That's the trouble with ranking a band like this, because for me, as I've gotten older, I'm kind of like, I've been around you too much.
You're expecting more.
I'm looking for more. I'm looking for something different, something like that doesn't fit the ordinary. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Like I have some things on here that you're probably gonna cringe at because I like that band, but you don't, so, or you don't care for it.
My list had some stuff that would make people cringe.
So if you like metal, you want to headbang, get any of the Heaven Shall Burn. They're all fucking. It's heavy as fuck. I'll just listen to one of my favorite songs by them if you want. But it's real just heavy, angry shit. Like that's what it is. That's something you go into a 17-year-old kid who hates his mom.
Cool. We've all been there.
Yeah. Second one, Lamb of God.
Kind of still there. Lamb of God.
Lamb of God's new album, self-titled. They've had like 10 albums, and now they're getting to the self-titled album. It sounds. It also falls under another reason. It falls under the Heaven Shall Burn. It sounds like Lamb of God. They do which is I like Lamb of God. I've been a fan of them forever. I have many of their albums, not all of them, but I have many of them. And Lamb of God's Lamb of God. I've seen them live. I saw them live with Slipknot. and Shadows Fall and All That Remains.
Just don't jump on stage.
Right. but yeah, no, Lamb of God's fucking badass. But again, it falls under that. Sounds like it sounds like
same shit, different album.
Right. Protest the Hero.
Now I gotta pay more attention. To those
like
guys.
Protest the Hero. Right. They're proggy. They're they're different. But the reason why they didn't make any of the top is mainly because I just didn't listen to it enough. Like I went through it once, but I was kind of like just going through it, and I liked it. But I like Protest the Hero. I mean, they're like I said, they're kind of like a proggy punk metal band kind of style. I mean, it's very prog. I put Lordy because though I listened to it, I don't see myself going back to it.
Yeah, I killed it that first week. I had bought it, and then it made me be like, oh man, I need to go ahead and buy more Lordy. And then I bought their first album, and was like, moved on.
Yeah, Lordy's one of those bands, like, you can listen to them if you want to have, like, you want to just be fun. Have, like, just fun with it. But once you hear them, it's kind of like, alright, I don't have that mood for Guar right now, so, alright, moving on.
Yeah.
So that's why. So, surprisingly, Head P had a new album out last year.
I thought it was Head P.E.
Well, it's Head P, yeah, Head P.
Is it Head P.E. or Head P? Head Pay? How do you pronounce this?
I think it's all P.E, so it's P.E.
Oh yeah?
I don't know what it means. Don't ask me. I'm not.
Head P.
I haven't.
Head P.
Head P's hit and miss with me. Like they had Swan Song, which I really like that song. That's a really good one. And some of the things that the singer does with his voice, I like. Like some of the stuff. The rap is hit and miss. It's really not that great, but it's not the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
But I like it. And I put them up here because I just didn't. I listened to parts of it. I didn't really get to it, and the songs I heard were decent, but it's not like my favorite of the year kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it needs to be mentioned. Head P, Class of 2020. It's a decent album.
That's the name of the album?
It's Class of 2020. Yeah.
Wow, it's got 2020 in the name.
Well, they do that a lot. Like they have a lot of different. They came out one back in 2001, and it was all about Twin Towers and America and all that shit.
Didn't everybody?
Yeah, no. Unleash the Archers.
They're rad.
Power metal band. I thought that's what you mentioned. But
that's a female fronted.
Yeah.
Power metal.
Yeah.
Ladies are so good in power metal bands.
That's because they're replacing them all. I'm waiting for Dragon Force to hit up.
Yeah, I mean, and the new Dragon Force singer, he's been there for many years now, and he's fine, but that guy is not as great a singer as how you say that guy's name?
I don't know.
Crazy name guy, the original Dragon Force singer. That guy can fucking sing. That guy's got some pipes.
Yeah.
But the new guy, man, doesn't hit all the. He doesn't make me chill.
Yeah.
Feel the chills. With a certain. He doesn't hit them notes, man.
I chose him because I like Unleash the Archers, but I have to be in a mood for power metal.
Yeah.
But it's a good album. I was in the mood for that for a day, and I was like, all right, I'm done. I don't get into power. I used to be really into it.
You want some fun power metal? Check out Glory Hammer.
Yeah, I've heard them.
They're rad. Christopher Bose from Elstorm is in there. They're cool. It's like sci-fi power metal. Like it's really fun.
Nice. But yeah,
enchanted jetpacks and shit.
It sounds like power metal,
Yeah,
flying the winds and elves and dragons and shit.
Yeah,
like that.
man, love it, man. Love that shit. I'm mostly into it if it's symphonic, because power metal that's just the guitars and stuff. I get slightly bored, but the orchestral stuff to me fits power metal so much because it makes it feel more fantasy. It makes it feel more grand. So whenever it's like, take for instance, it's hard for me to get through an entire Dragon Force album. But they're arguably doing what every other power metal band is doing. But it's like when it comes to shit like Majestica, it's that orchestra that's helping me stay into it.
I mean, as a kid when Dragon Force came out,
it
was awesome.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, I think like the whole extremely fast playing to the drums being extremely fast playing, to me it just kind of like
gets a little a little old, yeah.
But yeah, so I like to Unleash the Archers. It's called The Abyss. It's a good power metal album, but didn't make it because again, You have to be in a kind of mood for it, and I'm not always in the mood. 31, Marilyn Manson's new album. I'm not the biggest Marilyn Manson fan, but I dug the album. You know,
Yeah.
it was, but you know, I'm not gonna go. I need to listen to Marilyn Manson's "We Are Chaos." I was like, no, I'm not gonna go into that and be like, yeah, I need to.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing there for
It's
me.
fine. And like I said, the first time I listened to it since we reviewed it was when I was getting ready to put it on my list, and it's one of those where it's like I appreciate it being different. I was in love with it when I first heard it, and then each listen I kind of liked it a little less, like not as much in love with it. I mean, love it for being different, but if I'm in a Manson mood, you know, I'm going for the '90s shit, you know.
But yeah, so that's it. All right, real quick. So Evanescence, Amy Lee, whatever, came out with an album, basically her first album, redone with symphonic, right?
What do you mean?
Not the newest one that's coming out, but the one that just came out before it. It was basically her old songs, but redone with like symphonies and shit.
So just Evanescence songs?
Yeah, it's all her original songs. Like she re-sings it all the way she wanted to. Like I saw an interview, she was talking about she took all those old songs of hers that she did with when she was with the company or with record companies and stuff. But then now that she has her own stuff now.
So are these like songs from the the Fallen album?
The first album and the second album, and I think there's some on the third album, and it's her. She redid them all. I mean, they're a lot better, I think. For my,
I'm intrigued with the symphonic element.
Yeah, I mean, so anyway, so she did that a couple of years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago. She did that, and it was a good album. But I mean, you know, if you really want to hear all her songs redone better, I mean, I think it's better. It sounds a lot better with the symphonies, the piano, and everything. And it's not so retarded like new metal. So
that first one, man. That first one is
album, yeah.
That first album is new metal. The album. It is. We are cashing in on the latest fad, hardcore.
So anyway, that's not the band. Anyway, but I wanted to get to my point. So after that, I heard that though. There's been 3 albums so far by different artists that have all done almost the same thing. They went back, got a lot of their old songs, and they redid them with symphonic music and acoustic stuff. Recently, about a week ago, Demon Hunter did one, and it's really good. But it's all their songs more, and it's in an acoustic setting with some like violins and shit. We're doing a lot of the parts.
Yeah.
And it sounds good. And then another one I just heard, which did the same thing. So Breaking Benjamin. All right, it's the butt rock we were talking about. I've been a fan of Breaking Benjamin. I like the guy's voice, and I like how they do. They were the originators, so I think their sound is a little bit better than all the people that sound like Breaking Benjamin.
Really like Face of the Floor.
Yeah, I mean their first few albums were really good, but they've always been like just one of those kind of nostalgia bands like I go to when I want to listen to something that's not as heavy, and I can relate with. So they did Aurora, which came out in February of 2020, and it's good. It's Breaking Benjamin, but they redid it. They have more like the drums they were using, bongos, and they have violins and shit, redoing all their songs. It's really cool. So it's not as heavy, but they have like an acoustic bass that they're playing on too, which kind of gives it a harder hit to it. And I liked it, but
it's interesting.
It's Breaking Benjamin though. It's kind of like, all right, cool, whatever. They haven't really done anything since Dear Diary, I think was the album called. That I haven't really been super.
Dear Diarrhea.
Dear Diary. Or something like that. I think that's what it's called. But that one was really good. That was like their second or third album. And I haven't really been too much into them since then because everything started sounding like I just didn't care. I grew out of it. Another band, Saul, which is another band that's kind of like Genty Breaking Benjamin. But his voice is deeper.
Breaking Gentleman.
Yeah. He does a lot of... He has a deeper voice, and that song, it's Rises Equals is the name. And it's basically, I think one of the 2 of the songs is dedicated to his brother who like committed suicide or some shit. Or whatever. But it's a really good album. If, you know, again, if you're in that mood to listen to something that's not... It's just regular hard rock. You know, it's not heavy, super heavy, but it has a good heaviness to it. I like it. The dude can sing. Oh, here you go. You know him, Derek Sherinian. From he was the early keyboardist for Dream Theater back in like the '90s, late '90s.
I think I'm only really like. That's a name I'm not very familiar with in that band.
Well, anyway, he had a solo album come out called The Phoenix, and you probably like it. I mean, it's good shit. Like, I mean, it's electric keyboards, and there's some. I mean, it's proggy, and I mean, you probably dig the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't think I don't remember if that album. I've listened to so many albums. If that album had any words, or if it was just instrumental, but I would definitely recommend it.
Coming out, I believe this month, or it might be next month. A new Liquid Tension Experiment album is coming out, and that's a handful of the Dream Theater guys.
Yeah.
Mostly instrumental prog project. Phenomenal shit. Get on that. If you like that you're talking about now, yeah, you'll dig some Liquid Tension.
But yeah. But that's one of those I just didn't listen to enough, I don't think, to actually do anything other than I think I should have mentioned it. Seven Dust had a new album, Blood and Stone. It sounds like Seven Dust. Again, one of those bands. I'm a big Seven Dust fan, but it's one of those bands that sound exactly like their last album. You know, he has the same style of vocals. They don't do anything new. But I'm a fan. So they were in Columbus, I think, 10, 15 years ago. They came to Columbus, I think, for a concert.
I saw them back in 2003 with Il Niño and Element 80.
Yeah, that's right. Man, I love them. All three of those bands are good, though.
I never heard Element 80 before or after that concert. And I still know Seven Dust is a thing, but I've never checked them out past that. And I bought, which was the newest Il Niño album at that point, Confessions, and hated it. I was like, damn it, these guys were cool live. Why is this album just this? But never went back.
So another band that everyone seems to hate is King 810. I've talked to him about him before.
He was on your list last year.
That's because they keep coming out with good albums. But alright, so everyone hates King 810. Like, I don't know everyone, but there's always a fan group. I'm part of the fans. But there's a lot of hate online. Like, they're like these guys that came from like Detroit or somewhere up there, and they were in gangs, but it's a bunch of white guys who are in the metal, and they kind of rap. But the way he does things, though, is really dark.
Yeah, I dug what you showed me last year. I was like, this is pretty cool. This is fun.
But they have a new one called AK Concerto Number 47. And it's good. And again, a lot of these, like I said, a lot of these first few groups are it's just something that they sound like. And I liked it, but I didn't have enough time to really put into it. So, and I just heard it recently. I didn't even know they came out with a new one because I thought they wouldn't for a while. Hatebreed has a new one.
And that's a band that
Travis don't like Hatebreed.
I don't mind them.
I listen to Hatebreed. I really kind of like.
Josh and me see each other with Hatebreed. I mean,
like some of their first albums are really good, and I kind of stopped listening to them for a while. It was just really cool. It was like uplifting metal.
Right.
It was like workout metal. That's
like,
what you go to work
death
out.
metal. It's like Five Finger Death Punch if they were really good, and liked. So
I mean, hell, the song's called Perseverance.
Hatebreed's been around since the '90s.
But I was going to say they're one of those bands that like you've been listing off like shit gonna sound what it sounds like.
Yeah, and it does. It falls into that kind of. It sounds like a Hatebreed album. I mean, it's heavy as fuck. It says all the good stuff. It's literally one of those bands that a mom
the singer sounds like
to and hear it, and she goes, "Oh my God, they're talking about Satan." When the entire thing she didn't listen is about them saying, "Persevere, you can do this.
I mean, if you said
you're
this
a great guy. I hope you didn't rape her. Don't worry."
I mean, these are as close to a Christian metal band.
Goal. Right.
I mean, it's like they're like a Christian metal band if they're just not Christian metal band.
They're the nice dads. Like they're the good dads of metal. Like they just
the
come around.
Good Dads
You
of
did
Metal.
it, right?
That's an album title right there, man.
There you go. They're the every child gets a medal.
Yeah, every child gets. They're the participation trophy of metal, man. There you go.
Because all their songs are
all did a good job.
Right. Like
remember,
they're just complimenting.
there's not just one winner.
Right,
You're
there's
all
no I in
winners.
team. There's like that's what Hatebreed is though. They're that, but sounding like someone is talking about Satan. So,
I hope you meet every single goal in your life.
you did it! You can do
Good
it!
job, man.
High five!
It's Jimspiration.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, like I mean, everything's like that's something you get on the treadmill or the elliptical and you're just pumping. You're like, oh, he's listening to Hatebreed. That motherfucker's going. But yeah,
Where we at now? Because I want to see.
25.
25.
So that was 25. So we have 24 more.
All right, we're gonna pause real quick. I'm gonna take a piss and smoke a cig, y'all.
Please.
All right, y'all, we're back after the short break. I had to get one in and pee some out, so.
All right, 24. Run the Jewels.
I still gotta check them out.
I dig it. It's like old school style rap. It's got a lot of the guy from Cypress Hill on it, and
Come on, be real.
I can't remember who it was, and then like two other like rappers from back in the 90s and 80s, and I dug it because it's just how they produced the album itself. Like they have 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it's a group that sounds like Run the Jewel. Is if you like the style of rap and how they do things, then you'll like them. I mean, it's just you gotta kind of listen to it a couple times. But
I'm still just real picky with hip hop, man.
Yeah, and this is like old school hip hop though. I mean, like this is like
I'm picky with old school too, man.
Yeah, I mean they produce it with like some new school style beats and everything, but they rap like it's from the 90s and 80s, late 80s. I mean, like Run DMC like meets Tupac. I mean, that's the best way I can think about it.
Run D and Pac.
Tech Nine had a new one come out.
Pac DMC. You said Tech Nine?
Tech Nine. I love Tech Nine. Right, I've been a huge fan of Tech Nine probably for 15 years now. 15 going on maybe somewhere around there.
Wi-Fi.
So yeah, Tech Nina, he was like the first real speed rapper that I heard, other than Busta Rhymes. But I'm not a big Busta Rhymes. Is big, and he came out with a new album last year.
Oh wow.
But I didn't put him on my list because I was like, it's Busta Rhymes. I'm a hit and miss with me. But yeah, it's like his first album in like 9 years. But Tech Nine though, I like it, but it's not. It didn't. I wanted to mention it. Didn't make anything higher than that though. It's a good album though. It's called Interfere. So enter like.
What was that?
Sound like something rolling on the roof.
It did.
Anyway.
Did a limb just fall off? I think a limb just fell off a tree. Right?
So it's like I mean, if you've never heard of Tech Nine and you like a little bit more of a fast lyrical rapping, you also check it out. And like I said, I've been a fan. Tech Nine's been like he's an awesome fucking rapper.
Travis is already drunk. See this
And he's
guy?
also, and also Tech Nine does a lot of stuff in the metal scene though. He's done a few songs with Corey Taylor, and he's done some songs with a few other metal bands that are pretty good. And I think he's done stuff with ICP. I think a few times.
He hangs out with the Juggalos.
So yeah, Tech Nine's been pretty much around like the heavier scene anyway. So if you like metal and some rap, this is a guy you need to check out. All right, so I showed you them Only Fire. Alright, so I just heard them probably about.
And that's the shit that reminded me of Peaches.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
so
The Donald Trump.
Only Fire, double penetration.
Grab my pussy like Donald Trump.
Right, it's. What would you describe it?
Now here's my question: are all the songs sung like that, where
Yes.
it sounds like a robot?
Yeah.
You're hitting
All
buttons on a robot. That's annoying.
It's more
It's
of a.
fine on like a song. It's fine like on a song or two.
It's like
for,
Stephen Hawking wrote a song.
Yeah,
When he put out a
exactly.
theme.
Exactly. Alright, but to
and
me,
that
it's-
gets annoying.
Right.
That was their theme
it can
going
be annoying.
for.
The
Yeah.
thing about it that I liked about it was to me, I see it's comedic value for it. Right? If you're looking for a good laugh and you have kids,
But I mean, a whole album of that would get grating.
Sucking
I don't
on
know.
my titties.
right? Yeah, exactly.
See, man, I'm totally
You've been
down with
licking
Peaches.
my pussy, and that's. I mean, it is it's a sexual album. It's a fun listen. I think one time through,
Yeah.
right? And I put it up here because I think I didn't really
It's
know
okay.
where to put it. I didn't want to put it all the way at the bottom because I think I will go back to it just because it's newer than some style. It's like sex pop, I guess would be like the best way I could. Trash pop. I mean, it's very like it is. Do not listen to this at work. Do not listen to this around your kids. Hell, don't listen to it around your unless your wife's into that. Don't let or girlfriend or whatever. It's fucking shrewd as fuck. I mean, and that thing, it gives that same feeling that you get from when the first time you've seen South Park as a kid. Like, holy shit, I can't believe that they're actually saying it. And there aren't too many raunchy groups or bands out there. So I think what attracted me to it more of was just because they...
Well, because it's mainstream now.
Well, I mean,
come on, you got wet ass pussy. I mean, Jesus.
Right, but it's
for 12-year-old girls. I mean, come on, Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
so
it's not shocking anymore.
Yeah, I liked it because of that though, because it's a kind of thing. It's a niche.
Yeah.
It's but like I said, it's only fire, and like I said, if you like dubstep, techno, and raunchy lyrics and
Stephen Hawking style vocals.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking's vocal, like a robotic vocal. Like you just typed it in and then put it to the beat. But it's still an interesting listen at least one time through. Even if you get annoyed with it, it's funny. It made me laugh more than anything because I was just like, holy shit. I was like, please don't let my wife hear this album because she would hate it. So, all right, moving on. All right, so the last of the just mentioned, right? We're getting to I have 10 honorable mentions because I like all these, but they didn't just make it there. All right, Mood Killer. I showed you for a second. They have
kind of rad.
Yeah, I mean it's pop music on acid to me. Like that's what I can say. Some of it's real hard, some of it's not. I mean,
like the first song you showed me sounds like every 2016 kind of pop song, but then the other song you showed me was like, yeah, man, that's some fucking.
And a lot of their stuff's like that first song.
That's some heavy fucking electro shit.
Yeah, I mean it's real electro, but I liked it. But it made it there because one, I liked it a lot more than I'll probably go back to it and listen to it just because I want to listen more to see if I can find things.
Yeah.
But everything else, so it's right there, but it didn't make it enough to where, because I didn't listen to it enough. I've only listened to the album, like, parts of the album here and there. And I know, like, I've listened to about 7 songs on the album. It's 10 to 12. I don't remember how many songs are on it. And I liked most of them. But I didn't listen to the entire album yet, so. But what I've heard is pretty fucking rad. I mean, it's bumps in the car, and it's fucking crazy, and I like it. I dig it.
Sweet.
So, alright, so we're at number 20.
The top 20,
Top
y'all.
20. Mr. Bungle. I mean, it's not new. It's, what, a demo album, kind of?
Yeah, it's new for what it is, you know.
Yeah, but
as far as the
Raging
music
Wrath of the
itself,
Easter Bunny,
yeah.
I dug it. I liked it a lot, but I'm not a big thrash metal fan, and it's a lot of thrash metal.
Yeah, and for it being thrash, it's like really fucking
It's
good.
good thrash metal, but
yeah.
I think it's one of those things like I have to kind of be in that mood.
I know, it's like damn it, if this is not the place to start with Mr. Bungle, y'all. Don't start with that album.
Unless you like thrash metal, then.
Yeah, unless you like thrash metal, but if you want what people... The reason people are telling you about Mr. Bungle isn't thrash metal. It's fucking My Ass Is on Fire, you know, it's Egg, you know, there's a lot more to Mr. Bungle than a thrash metal
Did you buy all
record.
his albums?
Yeah, I got all the Mr. Bungle over here.
Mike Patton and everything?
I got a ton of Mike Patton. There's still a lot of Mike Patton I still got to get. I still got to get another Phantomus album. Still got to get, all the Tomahawk. I don't have any Tomahawk. But yeah, I still got a ton of Mike Patton shit to get.
But yeah, so I liked it better than everything else up before. And, but yeah, it's right there at the 20. 19, surprisingly, Deftones.
Man, I can't believe it's that low.
Deftones, yeah. Well, I heard it. I liked it for Deftones, but to me, it was one of those, it blended too well together. Like, nothing says I want to go back to that album. Like, I was kind of hoping for, something closer to their older stuff, and I was even wanting Gore, because I liked Gore for it's different from all the other stuff, but it went back to, it's not as good as Diamond Eyes, but it's similar to it, and I just, if I hear it on my when I have my stuff on shuffle, I'll listen to it. But I don't remember half the songs on it because it's forgettable. It's just kind of like I didn't care for it. They didn't do anything that wowed me enough on this album.
Yeah.
And it was kind of disappointing because I had high expectations because I'm a huge Deftones fan. I have all their albums, and you know we did that top whatever from them.
We did that. Yeah,
the retrospective
retro.
kind of on this, and we didn't make it to Ohms, but we did most of it, pretty much all their stuff.
Yeah, Ohms wasn't out at that time. But I don't know. You know what's funny is when I listened to it again for my list, I wound up liking it a lot more than I did when it first dropped.
Yeah, I just haven't I haven't wanted to go back to it. I mean, I might need to. Maybe I'll get a different perspective, but
It's just lush.
I listened to it for like 2 or 3
Lush
times.
metal.
And, yeah, I mean, it didn't do it for me. You know, it was kind of disappointing. All right, Lords of the Lost, Swan Songs 3. They have their first two are fantastic, and their third one's fucking amazing. It's
Lords of the Lost is the one you showed me, and there's like a Rammstein vibe.
like
to
they're
the
like
dude's
goth
voice.
Rammstein. Yeah, he had a real low voice and everything.
Yeah. I gotta check those dudes out.
Yeah, I mean this is it has a lot. I think Swan Songs is kind of like a few of their songs that they've redone in a different way, and then it's new songs. It was a really good album. And I've been talking to him about a year now. I talked about him, mentioned him, and I've liked him for what I've heard pretty much 3 or 4 albums, and all the Swan songs are amazing, phenomenal, like things, but not enough for the top. But yeah, so I definitely, if you haven't checked them out, you need to check out Lords of the Lost if you like goth metal, or like Rammstein mixed with like a more gothy sound.
And not saying they're less like Rammstein because they sing in German. Just I had a Rammstein vibe to the way the guy sings, like his vocal style.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like them in a little bit, like in certain songs, like parts of it. But yeah, so check that out. 17, Devil Driver. I've been a big Devil Driver fan since 2000. I think it was when I heard The Mountain the first time.
And that's the Cold Chamber guy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's, what's his fucking name? Dez Farfara? I don't know. But yeah, Dez, he used to be in Cold Chamber and then created Devil Driver, and I've been, Devil Driver is like, it's just a really good metal band.
That's another band, Travis, I've been trying to get him on. It's Cold Chamber.
I gotta
Cold
buy
Chamber.
their shit,
I mean,
man.
Cold Chamber's fucking amazing.
They're fucking awesome.
Because I've liked what I've heard so far.
Cold Chamber's phenomenal, but Devil Driver is like Cold Chamber times 7. I mean, it's a lot more fast paced. It's a lot more heavy. He does the screams that he did in Cold Chamber, so it has certain parts.
Devil Driver's definitely a lot
Devil
more
Driver
heavy.
has, and like their first 3 albums, I fucking love. They had some of the best metal riffs, like just guitar riffs. And it's not like they do a lot of solos or anything. They're a good like new metal, but not new metal, kind of like dark, like just heavy metal band.
I know several years ago they did that album. It was like covers of country songs.
Yeah, they did that one. That's phenomenal. That was
version of Country Heroes.
But yeah, so you like Devil Driver, definitely. I mean, even if you don't like you don't know who they are, check out his stuff. Anything Dez does is pretty much straight great, like good production, good guitars. I mean, sounds just a really good metal band. I've been a fan forever. Same like they're kind of like in that Lamb of God range. Like they kind of like Lamb of God and Devil Driver. I saw Devil Driver live too at Masquerade, and it was badass. He was drunk as shit. He like almost fell off the stage a few times. I mean, he was fucked up.
Damn.
I think he's sober now, but this was like almost 2005, 2006 sometime. Alright, 16 is a new band that I just heard as Ocean Grove, and I showed you parts of the first album, which to me some of it had like some kind of that Linkin Park style to it. But the newest, I think you'd like the new album, because that was their first one, I think, or second album. But the new one kind of has like a totally different vibe to it, and it's really a chill album. It's not like super heavy. It has some new metal aspects in a few songs, but it's just kind of like a kind of chill vibe to it. Like you just get that kind of I could just kind of tunes, and it was good because it's different to me. Like it's something that they can still be called a new metal band, but it's just a different style of it. So I definitely would recommend just to check them out. Yeah, their newest album is probably something you'd be more into than their first album, though. That's what I would say. Now, Josh probably be like the first album more though, because me and him.
Who?
Josh?
Ocean Grove.
Ocean Grove.
New metal style band.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
I think they have like 3 albums out, but the newest one is called Flip Phone Fantasy. It's pretty cool, chill. Like I said, you need to check it out. 15, Haken, the Virus album.
Makes sense.
I wanted to have this album on my top 10 so bad.
Dude.
When I heard
I like the first song. The intro song's awesome.
the intro
Shit.
song was great,
It
but
is
the problem
very
it's a banger as fuck. Like it's heavy. It has progginess,
Like
but
it doesn't suck.
no, I mean the album is
It's
good.
just average as fuck.
Yeah, like between that and Vector, you know, it's kind of like, all right, where's the cool? Like you were saying, like where's the wacky stuff? The cool, like that cool, just different. And there's nothing on it that kind of stood out on this one. Like
They just sound like every other kind of prog metal band
Yeah.
on this one, and it's just disappointing because it's like I know you guys can do better than this. You have better than this. Damn it.
oh yeah, we're you know, Haken's a good prog band,
Yeah,
but
that-
all their
that-
old stuff is great.
Yeah, it didn't turn me off. I was still a fan. Still a fan. Just not too big on those last 2 albums. Especially after coming off of Affinity, man.
Yeah.
Fuck that. That album is phenomenal.
Affinity was great. The
And-
Mountain is
And the
like a
Mountain is
masterpiece.
just amazing. And Aquarius, and man, like, oh, it was hit after hit after hit, and then Vector, and then Virus. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, so
Let's move on, man.
Yeah.
Let's give us something.
I really
heck
wanted it
better.
to. It was that was one of those like Deftones, just a disappointment.
Big
I really wanted
disappointment.
more out of it. Mushroomhead, A Wonderful Life.
I've heard some of that, and I dig it.
I love Mushroomhead, man. Everyone wants to compare them to Slipknot because of their mass. I'm like, they're nothing like Slipknot.
That was the only thing.
Right, they came out at the same time frame as
That's
Slipknot.
all people ever say about Mushroomhead.
Well, it's because like when Slipknot was coming out, Mushroomhead's album 13 was out.
That's the best
That's
album.
that's what it is, their best
That's
album.
their best album.
But that's what everyone, because when they look at the cover of Slipknot, they're Slipknot self-entitled. And
Right.
in them, it's almost kind of the same because they're both just the
Right,
band
and
standing
they-
in a line wearing their
I
fucking
think,
masks.
I think Mushroomhead would have been a bigger band than they are if it wasn't for the time frame that they came out. Like
They've been doing
they were
that
ahead of
before.
their time, I think. Like 13, you listen to 13, and then anything in 2000 or 1990. When did it come out? 2000, 2001.
13.
It's around there.
Anything
yeah.
in that route, that frame, time
Yeah, because
frame,
it came out before
Yeah.
Slipknot self-entitled finally.
they were way ahead. Like they had rap metal in there. They had like the actual rapping stuff in there. They had a singer who could actually like had this different voice, and they did things a lot differently. Like they went more for a horror style of their mask and everything, and how their music is really dark and it has gothic moments in it. It has a lot of like it's just a really good band, and they don't compare to Slipknot at all because those are totally 2 different sounds. You're not going to get the same sound from from Mushroomhead that you hear in Slipknot at all. And like I said, the Mass, they just came out and the Mass are popular and they stayed with it. Good on them. I'm glad they're still around.
The Corgi is still one of my favorite
Now,
songs.
neither the original rapper or the original singer are with them now, though. I think the newer rapper took over as male vocalist / rapper, and then they have a screamer guy, and then they have a female singer. And that's in the new band, and it's good. I mean, like the female, she does a great job at it. I love their videos because they're just so creepy, and they have like that scarecrow like meets Hellraiser kind of feel to a lot of their videos and stuff. And they do like a lot. Like one of the guys, the rapper, singer, or whatever, he has like this dead gladiator helmet on. I mean, he's pretty. The makeup's great, and yeah, so it's a good album. But I've only heard it through one time, and I think I want to go back for it. And it could have made it if I heard it within a different time frame, like at the beginning of the 2020.
It probably wouldn't have been very much higher than it is now.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Because
this is a good point.
it's still a little. I mean, it's not weak in the sense where it's just not. They kind of got a lot. It's very soft.
Yeah, I mean,
Now can be decided.
They
A lot
bring
of
it
songs
down.
they brought it way down.
There's a few songs that are real good that are heavy, but like.
Most of it's actually kind of more melodic. Him just
Right.
doing
But if you
melodic
want to
singing.
get into Measurement Head, start with 13. That's their best album ever, and everything else sounds
And what
similar
was that?
to it.
Butterfly. What's the album that's got the big butterfly? It's got QWERTY on it. QWERTY's a really good fucking song too.
I don't remember.
Because QWERTY reminds me
Terrible
of
names.
Sun. Sun never. I can't remember the name of the song. I'm 13.
I don't remember. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. QWERTY's kind of like
was
that.
A good song.
Yeah, way dude, he does that really melodic lead into the fucking
Yeah,
rap
and how he
sections.
sings though is super weird because he's like, I don't know anything. Like he has like that Marilyn Manson meets, I don't know, Corey Taylor. Kind of like it vibrates differently. Like his
Vibrato going on.
His vibrato's crazy on it, and it's just he's just sounds like this when he but more.
Like if you took Corey Taylor and made him smoke a pack of Marlboros for like all of his life. And then just destroyed his voice, and then, so it's not. It's weird.
Right? Yeah.
Like
So
that.
you gotta check it out though. Definitely check out More Mushroom Man. They're a fucking phenomenal band. They're underrated as fuck.
Definitely underrated.
All right. So for those new metal fans out there, because I'm a huge new metal guy, Emir, another band that is hated so much because the singer is a dick. Like he does not give a fuck. So they have a new album out called Hindsight, and I put it here because I dig the fuck out. It is new metal as fuck. I mean, it can't get. It's nostalgia. I think because it's so good. I mean, to me, because the guy doesn't. He talks about getting drunk and eating pussy and all that. I mean, and partying and stuff. But musically, it sounds like just early 2000s. New metal, and it's a little bit heavier. Some songs are a lot heavier, and they add that kind of thrash metal into it a little bit, and hardcore metal stuff. But most of it is pretty new metal. I mean, it's probably like one of the most new metal albums of the year.
Rad.
And there were so many good bands. Like I've found so many different bands that are like excuse me, who was it? Tetrarch. They're a new metal band that's been out since 2017, I think. And they have a new album coming out in April I'm excited about because I've heard 2 songs from the album and it's pretty fucking awesome. It is nuts, new metal all the way. I'm just like, yeah, fuck yes. I'm a huge new metal guy. I like all those bands, even the shitty ones. I don't care. I'm a nerd to that style. I've always got into it. But yeah, so they're up there. Like I said, everyone hates this guy though. He's a total douche. Everyone's like, the band sucks. I'm like, you just don't get it. He doesn't give a fuck about you. So another band called Loathe. Now this almost pushed over to 10 because this album, it's like genty as fuck, but it's also like has a little bit of prog into it, and the dude sings and screams on it, and it's a pretty cool badass album if you like that 9-string guitar sound. I mean that dun 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 dun, like real chuggy, like just it's a gent album. Right, but it's so good because it has a lot of the songs have this atmosphere to it, kind of feel to it, and they're real but it's heavy, and I like it. It's one of those like I'd fucking listen to it. I go to it and listen to it if I want something heavy but melodic at the same time, and just that certain sound of gentiness is what I can say.
Rad.
It's a good album, and definitely like it almost got better, but then I heard a few things that kind of like I would probably go back to more. Alright, and number 11, Dance Gavin Dance.
It's another band I need to check a little more.
It's the Twiddly Dillies, they kind of have, they give me the similar feeling as Thank You Scientist, and a few other bands that sound like that. But they came out with a new album, which I was actually shocked. I didn't know they had a new album until I recently heard it. I dig them. They the first singer, they're on the second or third singer. I can't remember how the singers. The first singer has been, everyone hated him. Even though they sounded like all their stuff sounds alike. Like there's no album that doesn't sound anything different. It has the guitar that's all over the place and then weird sounds and they add horns and stuff in there and it's a proggy sound with like that like real fast guitars, but it's there's no distortion or something to them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, so like they're good and I like it. But it's so it's playability or I'm into that mood. Like I like those bands, so I always listen to them. So I listen to a lot of Dance Gavin Dance, and I didn't hear about them until last year. Like all their old stuff, I started listening to it, and I was like, man, this is fucking awesome. like I've been in a mood lately for a lot of like the cool weird guitar stuff that people do where they're tapping a lot. Like they're just going up, they're doing a strum, and then they'll tap something. They'll do a strum, and then a solo, and it's all over the place kind of thing. And how I just really dig it. So that's why they're so high up there, though.
Sweet.
But it wasn't good enough to beat everything else.
So we're about to be on the 10.
10, my
Top 10. We're going to smoke a cig, and we'll be back in a moment. All right, y'all, we're back from the cigarette break. David is back with the top 10 albums.
10!
So for you, this is where it all matters.
This is where, like, 2020, like, these are the best of 2020. Which is not saying a lot, because, like, for me, like, it was just kind of like, excuse me, that,
When you got...
you want me a Coke? Jinx. But yeah, no, like, for me, it was kind of like, what stood out most for 2020, which wasn't a lot for me. I mean, it was, I think that 2019 was so much better of a year, I think, for music than 2020 was. Because there was so much that came out in 2019 that was just great. That was with Devin Townsend in there.
See, for me, it's like the opposite, because, well, I don't know, that year had a lot of good stuff too, but like this year with 2020, so much stuff, I was like, I can't just narrow it down to 10, I have to talk about everything.
Yeah, but you have a more eclectic, like, outlook on song music and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you're kind of like, you like this genre and this one. There's no, like, I'm never going to listen to this.
There's no boundaries.
There's no boundaries. So there's a lot more for you than there was for me.
Yeah.
Because I have cutoffs. Like, there are things I just will not like. I know I won't. You listen to it for 2 seconds, I'm like, this is stupid. But you would love it.
Yeah.
You'd be like, fuck that shit, man. Alright, so, Wes Borland.
Yeah,
Number 10.
that was rad.
Dropped a 7-song EP. And it was, I think somebody mentioned that it was, I saw somewhere that it was like his old demos, just redone, which is kind of cool. But that album was just, like, just great. It was fantastic, just good listen. It was chill, and it was proggy, and it was kind of like, it's hard to describe really, just because Wes Borland's such an underrated guitarist now. Like, people know of him from fucking Limp Bizkit. And the dude that was like always in a fucking face paint or a costume of some
dress.
sort. Or dress. I mean, and that's why a lot of people were like, oh, he's a shitty guitarist. It's like, because he was in Limp Bizkit.
He always painted his face
But
black and wears black Scalera.
It's like, he's a phenomenal guitarist though.
It really is. I mean, just listen to some Big Dumb Face, y'all. Like that's some of my favorite Wes Borland shit.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, keep going.
He's, like I said, he's a very underrated. Like, John 5 and him probably could, do a dueling banjo thing. That thing would be awesome.
Yeah, it sucks because, like we were talking earlier, John 5 is another one of those guitarists who is, like, phenomenal, but the bands he's in, they rarely let him be phenomenal, man. And, which, from some of this new Rob Zombie I've heard, that's been rectified.
Yeah.
But
it's exciting. He's like,
can't wait. I mean, it dropped yesterday. I've got the pre-order
I've already
off of the website. Mine's not coming in until Monday, so I've got to wait a couple extra days. I've waited 6 years, 5 years. It's been a minute since a Rob Zombie album. I can wait a couple more days.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, like, that one had just an atmosphere to it. Like, I enjoyed it. It was a good guitar kind of album. I mean, it was different. It was like something like when Maynard Keenan does stuff with, like, Pussifer, it had a kind of, like, that feel to it. Like, you get that same feeling, like, if you just, because it's, like, just random stuff and kind of just really works. And like I said, he gets to show off his guitar style, and I'm a fan of Wes Borland as a guitarist, but, yeah, it was better than everything else I've heard before this, so, I mean, it's just one of those things. I'll go back to it, I'll listen to it, and I'll dig the fuck out of it. And every time if I forget about it, I'll go back to it and go, like, oh my god, this shit was phenomenal. I'll still listen to it. But yeah, give Wes Borland a better, like, yeah, he was in Limp Bizkit, but I would say
one of the best things about Limp Bizkit, really.
Yeah, I would say that definitely don't base him off of that if you've heard of him. Listen to his solo stuff because it's so much better.
Yeah, it's like hating Dave Navarro. You know what I mean? Like Dave
Yeah.
Navarro gets a lot of hate just because he's Dave Navarro, but the dude's a badass. You know, it's like there's just certain people who like that, where it's like, oh, you were in this thing, you can't be good. But it's like, nah, dude. Like some people are.
That's why Rob Zombie's good now. He's got pretty much the majority of Marilyn Manson's band.
That's why Marilyn Manson sucks. Anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of ironic.
So yeah, so that's number 10. Number 9, we just showed you Greg Pusciatto. Pusciatto.
Old singer
I don't know.
Prosciutto.
Italian. Prosciutto. I don't know.
Old Dillinger Escape Plan.
Yeah,
Love
Dillinger
those
Escape
guys.
Plan vocalist
Hey, they broke up several years ago.
came out with this just amazing fucking solo album. I just heard it like last week, and that shit just jumped it. Like it kicked out Dance Gavin and Loads and stuff, because I mean that album was just it's like almost what I get from when I listen to Devin Townsend kind of feel to it. It's, you heard, I mean, it has songs that are just dark, and then there's some heavy stuff, and it's a good solo project. Like it's just a really good listen, metal and prog and rock and
Love the atmosphere.
yeah, atmospheric.
Like it's got like some of the best black metal atmosphere in there. It's like, damn, this is fucking good.
I mean, it's kind of like him putting everything he has, like he put on there. And I mean, I loved it. I was like, man, this is great. This is definitely going to go in my top 10, because I'll definitely listen to this album over and over again. Like, it sounds great in the car and everything. And so, yeah, Greg Pusciatto. I don't know. I think that's how you say it. He's going to, maybe if you see this, hey, sorry.
How do you say his name?
But anyway, that album
Dillinger Greg.
is called Child Soldier, Creator of God. So it's really good. Though I'm gonna have to give it more of a more listen lyrically. I'm not sure what it might be something lyrically there, but yeah. Number 8 is Twisted. Came out with like many albums last year. They came out with like 3 or 4 albums last year, right? They dropped a Halloween album that was really good. And then like a couple EPs here and there, and I mean it was just a lot. So this one is called Mad Season. They dropped this in the beginning of the year, like right when the pandemic hit, and it's fucking awesome. It's not as good as, I wouldn't say it's as good as the one in 2019, because they just keep dropping these things.
Yeah, Twisted's
A
been
New Nightmare.
dropping a lot lately.
Yeah, they've been just throwing them out there, but
which one was it? Just recently, man. Has had some accusations of fucking with underage girls. Was it Monoxide Child? Or was it Jamie Maddox? One of the Twisted guys. But
yeah, like I've always liked Twisted. I like how Madrox. I like his rap style. He has always.
I out of Twisted, I do like Jamie Madrox.
Yeah, Madrox always has really good.
My name is
flow.
Jamie Madrox, and I got fat balls. I'm always urinating in the motel halls.
Yeah, I mean he has good flow. He's always had good flow.
He's a really good rapper.
So I enjoyed him, and I think he's the real, like, Monoxide's okay, I guess, but I don't really care for he sounds like Violent J does, or Shaggy. He sounds like Shaggy, like how Shaggy's style of rapping is, and I was like, whatever, but Madrox is the only reason why I really listen to him, because I've heard his solo stuff, sounds pretty good too, but I like it because it's twisted. I mean, if you're a fan at all of ICP and you never listen to Twisted, you're missing out, because they are so much more talented, I think, than ICP is. And they're pretty much the same genre, though. Like they fall in that psychopathic clown
rap
stuff. But yeah, so that album though, it was really good, and that's my number 8. I think their last album was I think it was Generation Nightmare. That one was on my top 5. I think in 2019.
Yeah, I think last year you did have a Twisted album on there.
Yeah,
and I had checked some of that out, and I was like, damn, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean that album was fucking great. This one was pretty good. Mad Season's a pretty good album.
I'm just real picky with the other Juggalo bands other than ICP.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I do like Twisted, and, but I'm not an ABK fan, not a Blaze fan. And a lot of the new guys I just haven't checked out. I don't know what a Ouija Mac is, you know?
Sounds like a burger.
I've heard, yeah, right?
Let me get one of them Ouija
It's
Macs.
it's like a Halloween Big Mac,
Right.
you know, that you'll get every just
I would
like
say
the Halloween Whopper.
You probably definitely like the first Boondocks.
Yeah, you heard me hear some Boondocks, and I dug it okay. I mean, but like it's weird, you know, it's weird when a couple years ago when I first heard Big Hoodoo, that was like the first time like somebody else related to ICP kind of caught my ear, and I was like, this guy is actually pretty good, like the way he words things and stuff. But yeah, I'm real picky with a lot of those Juggalo bands.
Yeah, and Twist is really the only ones that I can get in, like, really into. Like, I listened to, like, the last couple years since I heard Generation Nightmare, I've gotten down more and listened to them, and I was like, yeah, I could definitely, I'm a Twisted fan. I mean, I'll never paint my face or call myself a Juggalo. Fuck that shit. But I'll definitely wouldn't mind, like, seeing them live.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Then you would have to paint your face and call yourself a Juggalo. I would love to go to the Gathering one year, though, man. To tell you the
Yeah,
truth.
but you're gonna end up with a VD.
No, I'm not
You already
gonna
know
be-
you just
I'm not-
walk by with it.
You know, you're just gonna walk by.
It's gonna jump on me like fleas.
You know,
No, I'd love to
it's
go
gonna stick to you
one
like
year
Figo in
just
the
to
ground.
experience that. You know,
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
like
it's probably nuts.
it's like a Grateful Dead show. You know what I mean? On acid. It's like your jam band festival, but for the Juggalos, man. It's like, you know, it's
a lot
such
of clouds.
oof,
Everyone's hired.
such
drunk.
a thing, such a thing.
We'll probably smell bad.
Yeah. Oh man.
And I don't know.
I don't know. You look at some of the videos, even the ones where they're kind of
There's some
pornographic.
trashy
and you look at it, you're like, I bet that smells bad.
There's some trashy people, but so that would be a fun concert, but yeah. Number 7 is Avatar, Hunter Gatherer.
Hey, that was a lot higher than I had mine. Mine might have
Yeah.
been pretty low.
Well, I'm a bigger Avatar fan than you are, though. Like, I liked it. I liked it better than The King.
See, I think I liked that one more because it was a little more silly.
Yeah, and I like the serious stuff though. Like I like their what was that one before the?
Oh, that one was great.
Yeah, that one was fantastic.
Hail to the Hail
No,
to
the
the
one
Storm.
after Hail to the Storm.
I love Hail to the Storm though.
Hail to the Storm rocks.
Yeah, I like
No, Hail to
Bloody
the
Angel.
Hail to the Apocalypse.
Yeah, Hail to the Apocalypse.
The
Yeah.
Tower was a fantastic song, and all their second album was really good. And that's what got me into
There's
Avatar.
Black Waltz.
I went back to the first album, which is even like the first album was way better. It was Black Queen, I think, or something like that.
Black Waltz.
It's the Black Waltz. Yeah, the Black Waltz.
Black
was that the album name?
Yeah, the album's called Black Waltz.
Yeah, the song is fucking great too. Like, but that's a good album. But yeah, I really like this because I felt like that. You know, they're like, okay, we've done 2 or 3 of the what do they call them, themed albums.
Like concept album?
Concept albums, yeah, because I think the last 2 were concept albums. I don't know if the third
Yeah,
one was.
I would, yeah, the Feather album.
Yeah,
What was that
yeah.
called?
Feather something.
The one with the owl thing on the front, that was a concept album.
then the King one, that was a
the
concept.
Avatar Country was a concept.
So I mean, like I think I liked it because they went back to their original style stuff, and like Colossus is a fucking awesome song, and that album just for me did a lot better.
It's crazy, man, because I do like them a lot, but I'm never like them until I turn it on, you know?
Right,
I'm
yeah.
like, damn, these guys are so good. I should love them a lot more than I do. And, like, the last year's album, it was great, it was awesome, but, I don't know, for me, I heard a lot more that I liked.
Right.
More than it, but, man, it was a really, really good album.
But yeah, so that one was fantastic, and I was like, all right, at least we get some metal that I like this year.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to really like. There's like I said, I passed a whole bunch of bands that just didn't. They were metal, but they were like, could have done better. I want something different. I'm growing. Maybe it's me like growing up and like getting past them. Like I still want to be a fan, but I'm kind of forcing myself to be that fan now of a lot of these bands. But so yeah, Avatar. That's a fucking phenomenal album. If you like some good metal. So number 6, we talked about earlier. Dorian Electra took me by storm. Like,
wow, that is really high
Yeah.
on your list.
number 6, because I heard that
That's interesting
that new
stuff.
My Agenda was like, this is fucking crazy. Like, I enjoyed it.
So my question is that like a drag queen or
I think she's I don't know, a girl that wants to have a penis. I don't know.
or maybe a guy that wants to.
They'll never see it. So
Who knows?
But
I
yeah.
don't know what. I don't know. Is it a trans woman, a trans man, or is it drag?
I think
queen
it's
thing?
originally a female, and she's gay. Obviously, I mean, there's a lot of songs in there about homosexuality and stuff. And she has tattooed the mustache.
So wait, hold on. If she's trans, does that mean that she's straight?
Well, you can
Because
have
she's gay as a
super straight
female.
now.
No, she's super straight.
Right now,
Well, I mean,
super
you can-
straight.
You can
That's
have,
stupid. as
you
fuck.
can have trans,
Yes, I don't know what I didn't.
But
look
no, but
Her-
but if she was gay as a female because she likes females, then when she becomes a male, she likes females still. That would technically make her straight.
Well, the thing is, I saw a video with her about 6 months ago. I was watching some YouTube channel, and they recommended her. I was like, all right, cool. I'll look into it. And "Mr. to You" was the song I heard, and that was a fucking like, all right. She's like basically saying, I'm a dude. You can call me a dude, even though I'm a girl. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. And the musically, I just enjoyed it. The whole album's fucking great. It sounds fucking fantastic.
I mean, we like Alaska Thunderfuck.
Right, I'm a massive
Yeah.
Plastic Thunderfuck fan. Nails.
Right, yeah. So I mean, it caught me like I was like every song on that album. Though, I just went back to. I was like, this is fucking great, and I dug it. It's poppy. It's like I said, it's in that genre now. They call it hyper pop. It's a bunch of like just crazy, all over the place pop music, techno, dubstep, on acid. I mean, and that's what she throws a lot of metal and like riffs into it, or I don't know, it. I don't want to he, she, something like whatever. Like, probably he. We're gonna go with he. So he, he has a lot of the pop, but like that old school, like doom, doom, doom
Yeah.
sounds. Kind of a lot of the songs, and then there's some really cool things that they just do sound wise, and I really enjoy it more than anything. Like it's one of those albums that kind of makes me want to keep listening just because I'm enjoying listening to it. And I went back on their first album, and that one's good, but it's not as good as this one. Like this album's fucking like it just. I was like, yeah, I need to bump this up because I know I'm gonna listen to it more. I think that's what I'm getting into now. Anyway, I like that weird shit that's coming like that. I
Cat
like dubstep.
scratch fever. I look like Sigourney Weaver. Are you Joan Cleaver or a Labrador Retriever?
Yeah.
You know, one day we're gonna come over to Travis and have a big wig on and a dress.
Put makeup on it.
I'm expecting him one day to go full drag queen.
All right, y'all. Here we go.
I've already got my name.
Right.
Moonstar. Moonstar Divine.
That's so stupid.
You're gonna be wearing a sparkly dress, high heels, nylons, a big boa, and fucking
I hope I
like
get
colorful hair.
I hope someone said, just send me pictures if I'm not here, just to like, you need to see this shit. It's like, Dave, get over here now. I'm not sure how long this is gonna last.
So Travis is on mushrooms.
Right. But yeah, so definitely Dorian Electra it's weird. It's definitely LGBTQ. I mean, there's one song,
LGBT
My Agenda.
core.
Yeah, My Agenda, which is a badass song. But there's a part in there where she has a playthrough where it says homosexual, and I was like, okay, that's the most awkward part of the whole song. Where it took me like I was like, what? All right. So yeah, so it's definitely an out there album, but it was crazy enough. And like I said, I'm a big dubstep fan, and I like those big heavy beats and stuff. So I was like, all right, cool, I dig it, and it's fun to listen to. It's just a really fun album to me. But yeah, so that's number 6. All right, number 5, I think I brought up to you a few weeks ago, but Kill or Be Killed,
Yeah, Kill or Be Killed. That was pretty good.
which also has, I think it also has Greg Puciato in it.
I think so.
It's him and Cavalera.
Cavalera,
Max Cavalera singing, and then Mastodon has their drummer or their guitarist and singer, and it's one. Okay, so Kill or Be Killed is what do they call those?
Super group.
A super group. But it's fucking amazing, man. Like it is good.
Trips
It's
me out that
good
they had an
metal
album back in like 2014.
Yeah, I didn't know
That tripped me out.
So
Well, that was about the time of the supergroups, like when Velvet Revolver roamed the earth, and All the
well,
supergroups.
That's about 10 years after Velvet Revolver.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm
supergroups
saying,
have been the thing.
they got a little
since,
more
you know,
popular for a while there. Everyone
Yeah.
wanted to be in a super
Run the
group.
Jewels is one. They're super group.
We got, I
A whole
mean,
bunch of other
Damn
bands.
Yankees, Cream.
But yeah, so Killer Be Killed though, that was like, I told you before, I was like, I didn't know if there was any metal bands that would like really reach that peak of top 10 this year. And I was like, I heard this, I was like, fuck, that's fucking awesome. It's heavy as fuck. It sounds like Mastodon and Sepultura had a baby.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sepidon.
it's so good. I mean, like singing wise,
Mastatura.
I don't really get a lot of
Mastatura.
There's a few songs in there that are Cavalier, but there's not a lot of him in it. Like it was more Dillinger Escape Plan. I think it is Greg Puciato, but it's more him and the dude from Mastodon singing. Like you hear some Max Cavalier in there here and there to me, but I don't remember hearing his voice that much. But it's just a good, heavy song, heavy album, and it's not something that you hear from everyone else. You know, it was like I said, it has like Mastodon, it has Sepultura in there, Dillinger Escape Plan style stuff in there. I mean, it's kind of like it's a super group band. You know, it's well worth my top 10, I think. I can't name any of the real songs because I'm terrible with names of remembering songs and stuff once I listen to them, but they're all good. I mean, you can't go wrong with it. It's a good album.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Number 4, Poppy.
Yeah, motherfucker.
I disagree. So we went on about this when it first came out, and
So good. Man,
yeah,
so good.
Poppy, man, that album was fucking awesome. I loved lyrically what she did. I loved like that she was actually used good lyrics. I mean, it was anti-government, anti-corporation. I mean, it was something I wasn't expecting because I listened to the shit that you told me. Like, I watched, she has weird videos, and Travis has talked about her multiple times in the last few videos. And then, well, we did a whole video on the album, didn't we?
We did do a review, but was it the four of us?
I know I was there.
I know Josh and Zach were here. Or was Zach here?
I don't remember if Zach was here.
I can't remember.
But yeah, so, I mean, it's a good
they all
album.
loved how it starts with Concrete.
Yeah, Concrete.
Oh,
that's
God,
fucking
that's
good,
awesome,
man.
good.
So metally and like just
Oh,
black
man.
metal and just
Right.
super poppy happy.
Chewy, chewy, yummy, yummy, yummy. Like, oh man. Then there's some people like coffee, some
Yeah.
people like tea. But
I mean, it's just-
those like
yeah,
And corpse paint is like on point.
I love that
Yeah.
fucking like Photoshop corpse paint look.
It looks perfect.
It is great, man.
Yeah, that whole album is fucking great, and Mad Dog the shit out of it.
Every fucking bit of
I
that
really
album.
everything I want. Like, I hate it because Poppy's one of those experimental people that you don't. I don't think.
The
I
next
don't know.
the next album is probably not gonna. It'll probably have a song or two like this.
It might be metal, but
But
it,
who
It'd
knows?
be a
with
whole
the
new
rest.
genre.
Yeah, who
Yeah,
knows
right, I
with
mean,
the-
Poppy's
I mean,
just-
this alone.
Probably
you
a
know,
country album.
Right.
That Christmas one, man. Like
I was really hoping
totally
that like there would
different.
be more metal
Right,
stuff in
that would have been cool.
I really was hoping for that because I love this album. I disagree. It was what it should if it came out later. I think it would have been so much better just because it's what 2020 actually needed. If there was something like so much shitty shit came before that, and then like you hit like July or August,
and that
it
would
was
have
some-
been your. That would have been your like relief.
right? Like that would have been it. That's like it's just so out there. It was so good. I can't. I think Fever 666 was some of the guitarists, and they're a shitty band. I hate that band.
Well, I know they were on the one song she did on her Choke EP.
Yeah, but I think the guitarists were the actually.
Were they
guitarists
on
for
there?
that,
On there
yeah.
too? Yeah.
And they don't do that. See, they don't make that. They don't have that sound when they do their actual band. Like I don't like Fever 666. It's a terrible name
What
too.
a good album that was.
Oh my god,
Fucking album.
fantastic! But that's my number 4.
Man.
And you actually got me into my 3 is Igor.
Oh wow! I did not
Yeah,
expect
no,
to see some Igor
I
on
listened
there.
to. I went back to it.
Spirituality and distortion.
yeah.
Man,
And I
that
was
is
like-
so good.
I said,
So
I was like, oh my
fucking
god,
good.
it was like
It is everywhere.
right. It is.
Everywhere.
It gave me that kind of that same feel I had with Empath. About
Yeah.
him. Like it was just like, this is what I need.
You
right
never
now.
know what's gonna happen next. you
Right,
know?
and I think the whole Arabic theme behind a lot of it
Mhm.
was really cool. It's new. and it wasn't like.
Then it goes real. I love it when it gets Frenchy with the accordions, and man, that was another one where I had heard that album and I was like, I have to get everything this guy's ever done. Like now.
Yeah, man, it was so
Wow.
good. And I even showed Tanya this, and she liked one of the songs in it. There's a long name of a song too. Starts with P. Do you remember?
On Eeyore?
Yeah, on Igor. Sing it, son, P.
I have it over
I
here.
don't remember if I saw it.
Let me see. Igor H.
You need to start get a some labels.
There we go. Igor. Parping or Paranoid Bulldozer Italiano.
Polyphonic Rust.
Polyphonic
Rust. That song was fucking. That's what I was like, man. This is the album right here.
Man.
This is awesome. Like it was just like the whole. That was all full in Arabic, like
Yeah,
singing and metal. And
fuck.
it was all. It was good.
It's really what, filled my Mr. Bungle hole when Mr.
It
Bungle
filled his bunghole.
when Bungle dropped that album and it being just a thrash album, this right here, like I said, is the closest to old Mr. Bungle to me.
Yeah.
And really filled that void. Love that album.
It was really good. So number 2 was Static X.
Project Regeneration.
Man,
Yeah,
so
that
one's so fucking
that
good.
album is so good, and I think it's gonna be like, it's people aren't gonna notice this because it's Static X. I mean, they haven't been really huge in years.
Nah. This is like the first time Static X, like, for someone like me who doesn't pay attention to, like, articles and mainstream and stuff,
Yeah.
this is the first time I've heard, the masses talk about Static X since at least Machine. Like the second fucking
Yeah.
album. I mean, other
Sucks
people...
their shell themselves now. Now it's like more like a cover band of Static X.
I don't care if as
It
long as
just still
they
sounded
do
like
part
Static
2,
X.
Yeah, if it part 2, I'm hoping.
I'm
Oh
hoping
no,
it does
not
happen.
the album. The album because they use a computer to generate his voice. It's really just his voice already, with like little bits for this one.
It was
But
good.
like
I mean,
live,
it wasn't
it's
a
now just a cover
computer
band
making
because
his
now
voice.
it's the lead singer from Dope.
Damn.
I don't care. It's still good. It's
They
what you want.
used his vocal recordings that were already recorded, so it's not a computer generating his voice.
Well, he had to use a computer to put all that together.
Yeah.
He didn't complete
Oh
the
shit!
whole.
You have to do that for everything, man.
He did
Yeah,
the
but this time it's
vocals,
only
and
for
they
like a
made
little bit.
music to it.
But there's only so many more songs they could probably make from.
Yeah,
This might be the
third
only
one-
album they could have
the,
made.
The
Well, they
third
had
one
enough
will.
for part 2.
Yeah, they said they got enough for a volume 2, but if they were to do another one, it would be Dope Guy. New singer.
I like Dope. I don't really care.
And I do. I like
love
the
Dope.
fuck out of Dope, so I'm totally cool with it.
I'd be cool.
He
with
got called out. He was like, "I'm not the lead singer of Static X now. It's the same damn tattoo."
it. Yeah, well,
But I mean, the dude
They gotta
does.
keep the
I
mystery.
mean, the dude's good, but he doesn't channel Wayne Static. The sad thing is, Wayne Static is such a presence all on his own that there's no way you can.
Oh, that
You
mask
can
is fucking
do that.
creepy.
Yeah, that's
It's
why
great.
I like
love
that you
it. Like
got
he
the
skinned
dead
his
mask.
fucking like Wayne Static. He just made
I like
Leatherface
that in the
mask
music
over it.
video it was a skeleton Wayne Static. I love that shit, and I think dead Wayne Static would love that too. In the great beyond, he's watching that video going, "That's cool as fuck." But sadly after this, it would just be the Dope Guy. It would be a new Static X album with technically a new singer. But I mean, this right here was fantastic. Great tribute. Pay respect to the original sound, and it was for the fans, man, all the way, and it felt like it. It wasn't one. It didn't feel like a cash grab or anything.
exactly.
It
It
was
was well worth it.
wow. It was fucking good.
It was like I've heard it like 10 times probably. I've listened to it. That's a lot.
I killed it, man. I killed that first week. That's all I listened to, and then I dropped it on some more. I mean, fuck. Last time I listened to it was when I was getting ready for my list, but when I start vibing back on some more industrial style shit, it's definitely gonna be on that.
All right, so number 1.
What is number 1?
Eminem.
Wow, you're Eminem.
Hell yeah.
And it's the B-side collection of Music to Be Murdered By?
It's the double album.
Well,
so both of them came out in the same year.
No,
Yeah.
right? Music to Be Murdered By? I thought that was last year.
It came out at the beginning of
or
the year.
before. Okay, so at the beginning of the year he dropped Murder to Be Music By, and then the B-sides
Right.
later in the year. Wow,
And
okay.
as a double album.
Well, yeah, it's a double
That's
album
what I'm
now.
counting, because it's a double album. But both of them albums, they tie, because it's a good flow through a shitload of songs. And, I mean, Eminem's phenomenal. Everyone knows who Eminem is. You know, you don't need to say nothing about it. Most of the people have probably seen, but it's well worth it. It's one of his best albums I've heard since his first 2 albums. And it has a lot of Slim Shady kind of feel to it from Marshall Mathers LP. And it has a lot of his new stuff. And then, I mean, his rapping is just on par. He's, as people love to say, he's the GOAT of rap right now. I mean, he's pretty much one of them. Like, he's one of the biggest rappers that, you know, he just...
I'm digging Tom McDonald right now.
Tom McDonald's good as well.
Dude, it's fucking awesome. That's
Tom,
what
Tom
Dean
McDonald
was talking about.
Oh, the Jason Mask guy?
Tom McDonald is good, but Tom McDonald only raps about one thing. I mean, he literally, he's always rapping about with like all the social media stuff and like cancel and fake.
He's like
fake
he's
woke.
an anti-SJW,
Yeah,
fake
kind
woke,
of.
kind of anti.
He doesn't do like, I wouldn't compare it to Eminem though, because a lot of people are like, oh, he's white, he's Eminem.
Although he did make some good points about Eminem, how
Right,
Eminem's now a hypocrite because
Yeah.
like Eminem used to make fun of gay people and talk about killing people, and now he's like, you don't like people that fucking like voted for Trump or you don't like this stuff.
Yeah, Tom McDonald.
He ripped into him pretty good. He don't want to.
releases a song every week.
Yeah.
It seems like
He's
a different
on
video,
Facebook.
different song, and he's really good.
Fully
but
independent. He does everything himself.
He's not Eminem good. I mean, I don't think.
But even
anyone
then, he
is.
says he doesn't want to be Eminem. He's
Right,
not,
nobody wants to be compared to that. I
not
mean,
bad for a Canadian rapper who moved to America.
He's not. He doesn't live in America. He still lives in Canada.
Well, I mean, sometimes.
Watch
Well,
his YouTube videos. He talks about it all the time.
I don't never watch YouTube. I listen to him. I heard him on a.
But yeah, no, he still lives in Canada. He used to be a wrestler. He used to wrestle. Yeah, he was a pro wrestler. Well, not a, like WWE pro,
No,
but
he
he was a
was
pro
a
wrestler.
backyard wrestler, like
For a while.
with Max and everything's in.
But yeah, so he, Tom McDonald's cool, but like I said, in this
like
album, Godzilla, and was like a great album. Like that was like the Rap God good. Of God, the song called Godzilla talks about like proving that she don't give a fuck about anything. And then there's a few other songs on there that were really. The whole album is just really good though. Like if you're an Eminem fan at all from his first 2 albums, you'll definitely like the newest. Like the last 2 were really great. Kamikaze was fantastic, and this one was just like, fuck it, that's number 1 because I'm always listening to it. Like I catch myself too. Like I won't even listen, and it'll come on. And I'm like, all right, and I go with it. Like I mean, that's the best album I think. To me, it's the best rap album that came out last year, and it's my favorite one that came out. You know, it beats out all the metal ones because I've listened to more of the Eminem's album, recent album than anything else really. I just really got into it. I was like, man, this shit's great. If you like rap at all, I mean, good rap, like not mumble. Stay away from that shit.
Yeah, what I find real cool about your list is me, Zach, and Josh had a lot of the same stuff on ours, just different placements. Yours, like, all different, except for, like, till we got, like, to the last 5, there was a couple there, you know, but then, like, and then most of it, I don't even know what the fuck it is.
It's all good. It's just, here, you want to keep this? You can look them up.
For most of it, I know, but don't listen to, like,
Right.
damn.
Yeah, I would recommend any of these band groups. I'll leave this here for you, so when you see it, you can be like, oh yeah, let me check
Oh,
this
yeah, let me
out.
check this band out that David's telling me about, yeah.
But yeah, that's my fucking top 8,000, whatever. I don't know. I'm hoping it'll be better this year. I've heard a few albums this year that have come out.
Yeah, I've heard a few, and then I've got a massive pre-order list on my Amazon account right now. Shit dropping this month. New Lana Del Rey at the end of the month. I'm here for it. Fucking Liquid Tension Experiment, Dropkick Murphys, Offspring, Tomahawk's
I
new
know
album.
hear what you're gonna say about Dropkick Murphys.
Huh?
Sounds like Dropkick Murphys.
Yeah, it's gonna sound like Dropkick Murphys, and that's all I need, man.
Right, but I don't think it's gonna make like top tier though. I think it's gonna be like it's a good album.
Yeah, it's
but
not. I mean, who knows? Who knows? I mean,
I don't think they're
like
gonna
to me,
do-
still one of the best albums they've done in years was that.
Warrior Code.
No, the
I love the Warrior Code.
I love that one,
like a lot.
but I mean, like, oh, what was it called? Going Out in Style. Was that the name of the album?
I don't remember.
It was about 2 albums ago. It's the one before Signed and Sealed in Blood. But man, still one of my favorite Dropkick albums. But we'll see where this one goes, man.
Yeah, 2021 is gonna be. I think.
And then a
It's
new
gonna have a
Ghost
lot.
is coming out this year.
New
Offspring.
Ghost, Tetrarch, Offspring.
Offspring.
Rob
Fucking.
Zombie.
Yeah, the Rob Zombie's
Yep.
in the mail. Gonna be here Monday.
Rob Zombie. That's gonna be up there. It's already March.
Yeah, and it's only fucking March, and already we've had Theory on, we've had Psychedelic Porn Crumpets, God, what else? It's been a couple brand new albums this year, but yeah, totally looking forward to what's gonna happen, because there's a lot of stuff that still hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit being coming out. Like Gojira has a new album coming out probably this year. That's a band I'm looking forward to. Have you listened to Gojira?
No.
That's some good shit, man. You are missing out on some good metal.
I know a lot of people will be talking about
Gojira's a phenomenal band.
good
But yeah,
job.
they got a new album coming out sometime this year. They're talking about, and how even Slipknot was talking about they might be working on a concept album.
There's the possibility of the Korn covers album dropping this year.
I'll listen to the shit out of that.
I would love
It's
to
Korn,
know
and
what's in there.
I love their covers.
So they're going to call it Greatest Hits 2 then? Because they've already did that. That was Greatest Hits.
Well, they had
They have
a
some of the
couple
best
covers on there.
Yeah, I mean they have some of the best.
That-
I love.
That had the largest collection of
Yeah.
covers though for Korn.
I'm
though.
all for that. I was so disappointed. It made me sad a little bit because I was so disappointed with Love and Death. Like Chris Walsh, his side project band.
Yeah.
I was disappointed. I was really wanting because the first album that he did was great. I mean, it was him full on a pedestal, like, you know, that's his band. But then this one came out and it's the guitarist from Breaking Benjamin mostly singing, and then like almost every song at about the minute to a minute and a half towards the end comes in head, and I was just like. He put himself in the background or something musically. I was
How
like,
long do you
dude.
think before the new Rammstein comes?
They said, didn't they just say they're recording?
Oh, they're in the studio. No, they said they're coming out with one. I'm not sure if it would the end.
That'd be shocking. 'Cause
I hope it's
they
sooner
usually
than 10
long
years.
paths.
Yeah, there's no really good. There's always like big old gaps
So
between.
this would be the
Rammstein
shortest
albums.
gap between it.
That
Yeah.
would be good though. Yeah, if they, I mean,
This-
but you already got
But
2
then-
new albums in the last 2 years. I mean,
Yo,
they
I
dropped-
mean,
they dropped
within
this, that, and
within
then dropped-
like a couple years, we got a Lindemann solo album, a new Rammstein, and then a couple months later, another Lindemann album.
and that second
and I was
Lindemann album
so
was not
happy.
as good as the first one.
It wasn't
No.
as good as the first one, only because I did wish it was English again. But as far as
That's
just
the best Lindemann right there. Period.
just
It
being
is
a
more
Rammstein
Rammstein, though.
thing, yeah, I was like, it's been 10 years since I've had a Rammstein album.
And you get all
To
that.
basically get 2 Rammstein albums in 1 year, I'm fucking
Skills
here
and
for
Pills
it.
was the best one.
Yeah, love it. Love
That
Skills
was
and
the
Pills,
best
man.
one.
Because I got the other Lindemann there.
Lady Boy.
That's- Lady Boy. Yeah, man.
It's like give me.
I praise aboard to fucking
Golden
love it.
Shower.
And all the music
Yes,
videos.
I like
for
them
that.
fat.
Yeah,
I like
I like
them
fat. I like
Fuck
them
yeah.
dick.
Or
I like them dick.
Fish On.
Yeah, Fish
Fish
On,
On's
man.
amazing.
Damn it, Lindemann was such
That
a great
album.
album.
Talking about kidnapping women.
Oh my god.
Like it's fishing.
It is. That album is a
Did
celebration.
he have one that was
of
like up the or
debauchery.
from behind or something like that?
Maybe
was
More
so.
likely. That whole album was like
lady
sexual
boy.
innuendo. It was just completely
I
sexual
love that
innuendo.
song. It's
Just
just like crappy.
Such a celebration
Who was
of
keep
the,
my boner stiff?
yes, and the people it's for. I don't know.
Yeah, that shit was great.
All the way through, man.
I love his English. It's what's so great about
Yeah,
his
it's
English.
such a broken
It's such a broken.
English,
and it sounds good.
but it is so fun. It's so fucking fun. I never liked it when he would sing Rammstein songs in English, like classic ones, like with Engel or Duhas. I never liked it when they would do English versions of that. But when they mixed English language or English words in other songs, like with Pussy in America, loved it. But man, for an album with all new material,
America,
yeah, America is wonderful. But the Lindemann album being all English on its own thing, I was like, this is awesome, because they did an English cover of Depeche Mode Stripped on their second album, and man, I never was a big fan of that. Let me see you stripped. Let me see you make decisions without your television. Like,
The different it's because when you go to English, you don't sound right because the song originally was written in different languages.
But not Depeche Mode, not Depeche Mode.
Well, with him, it's because the way he sings.
Yeah, it just was.
It wasn't
not
made for
right.
a guy with a very heavy German accent
Yeah.
to try to sing an English song that's like that. It wasn't by him. So it didn't work.
2021 has a few surprises, I think, ahead of us, and musically, we're definitely, like I said, there's a few bands I'm looking forward to. Gojira, Tetriart are the soon come up ones that I'm really looking forward to. So, fingers crossed.
Possible 12-foot ninja.
12-foot Ninja, I mean, there's a lot of them that are going to be like, I'm going to have to put on, going to have to make a listen. And this is just in the rock and metal scene. Who knows what I'm going to find that I'm going to get into. Like I said, I just got into Dorian Electra, and I'm going to be into that
New
for a few
ICP
weeks.
stuff.
Yeah, new
I'll be
ICP
really-
album's dropping this year.
I don't-
They've already dropped the Yum Yum Lore, Yum Yum's Lore EP, which we got to review.
Yum Yum Flower.
Yum Yum Flower, totally looking forward to it. I mean, yeah, I'm an ICP guy. I'm an ICP fan. You know, David's not too big on them, but me and Josh, Zach, we're big ICP fans, especially that older stuff, that wicked
I'm a
shit,
fan of the older shit. I don't like
that old wicked shit.
Well, yeah, because it was great when it was a Joker. They had the theme, it was set out, and then when they
It's
just
supposed to
kept
be-
on going, I'm like, wait, guys, you're supposed to. It was
These
supposed
new
to.
Joker cars ain't doing it too much for me, but
I was fine stopping at Hell's Pit. I would have been fine with that. That would have been fine.
well, that's what they intended. That's what
That's
they
what
did.
was supposed to
I mean,
happen.
we got a couple albums after that weren't Dark Carnival albums, and they just weren't good. And
No.
they said, let's do Dark Carnival again, and those are a bit rough. But you know, but I mean, like with the last one though, Red Fred and Flip the Rat, those two were really, really good. I thought those were like some of the best ICP out of this new Joker deck. Definitely better than that Lost and Found bullshit from a couple of years ago, and
Bang Pow.
yeah, better than Bang Pow Boom.
I
Bang
hated
Pow
that.
Boom has some bangers, but not enough pow and boom. It's got enough bang, but
Not enough pow, not
I
enough.
love Vultures. That's a great song.
Yeah, Vulture,
though.
I really do like.
He dresses up like a little 13-year-old girl and answers the door with that voice.
Oh yeah, his little.
The little girl's voice. The little Chris Hansen thing he does.
I think he does that. I think that's on Death Pop. Predators.
No, Bang Pow Boom is Vultures.
Really? Or,
Not To Catch a Predator. Yeah.
yeah, which one has To Catch a
All of them.
Is that one on this one?
It should be. That's a main song. It's on all that. To Catch a Predator is on
It
all
is on Bang Pow Boom. I'll be damned. For some reason, I was thinking it was on Death Pop.
No.
But yeah, Bang Pow. I do like To Catch a Predator, and I did like. Where's that one? Damn it.
Vultures is also good, yeah. That's the one where he talks about how like
Fawn's Pond.
Fawn's Pond, yeah, that one's cool.
Yeah, Fawn's Pond. Cool little horror movie.
And I do like the song Bang Pow Boom because it got that big band sound to it.
Yeah, at the end, it's like very surfy with a bang.
Yeah, it's like a surf song. It's
whole
fucking
fucking
awesome.
moon world to a mushroom cloud. Like, yeah, that was rad. That was rad.
So the more I kept going back and listening to it, the more I actually do like. That was a really good album after so many bad ones for a while.
Yeah. And it's got miracles, man. Like the most classic ass ICP song of the past decade.
Yeah. And now when you think about it, like it wasn't that bad of an album. I mean, it wasn't like great. It wasn't like Amazing Jekyll Brothers or fucking.
Like it's nowhere near as great as those early
Great
six,
Malenko.
but I mean, it's fine. for a comeback of the Dark Carnival, it's fine. Most of them just didn't vibe with me all that hard.
Death Pop, I didn't really like Death Pop.
Death Pop had a few songs,
Death Pop was.
but Lost and Found still. Oof.
Oh yeah.
I remember liking Found and hating Lost back when it came out, but then when Red Fred came out and I listened to those two again, fucking hate Found and liked Lost a little more. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because they tried to redo their Bizarre.
It's just not.
Bizarre was good.
Love
It was,
Bizarre album,
it was
man.
two different. You know, it had two. You had
Yeah.
Bizarre and you had well, I guess they're
Yeah, Bizarre and Bizarre.
Bizarre and Bizarre.
Bizarre.
One was like the eyeballs, the other one was the
Question
the
marks.
question marks. It was like a two
those
album
were such
thing.
good albums, though.
Those were great.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for too. When I think we got a lot of that from the Wraith, the same like what they did song.
Yeah, I love the Wraith. Love the Wraith.
And Hell's Gate. Those are.
Tempest is good though. Like for the first one, not on the Dark Carnival. I like the Tempest a lot. But yeah. So what are you guys? What are some of y'all's favorite albums of last year? What do you think of David's list? If you like those bands, where would you place those? Check out our Patreon. Bloody Choker Studios on Patreon. $5 gets you as many album review requests as you want. You know, as long as you're not ridiculous on the number. Like, I mean, yeah, obviously 20 albums. It'd be hard to drop 20 albums, you know. But you know, 5, 10, you know, we'll get to them. We'll definitely get to them. But you know, don't be like, oh man, here's 100 albums I want you to review. I mean, if you got that many and you got patience, by all means, hit it up, do it. But then, you know, also listen to us and other great podcasts on the Dark Discussions Network.com or darkdiscussions.com. I can't remember the website name that we're affiliated with all the guys, Phil Perrin and everybody. A lot of because horrorphilia.com has shut down this past month, and a lot of us from horrorphilia.com moved on over to Dark Discussions. You'll find Cut to the Chase there with our good buddies Lacey Lou and Dan Chase. So definitely hit up that website. Check out some of the other cool podcasts. Lacey Lou right now is doing the Slumber Party Massacre podcast, and you can also find Speaker Brains on there. So we'll see you guys later.